You know, Christmas is really coming around the corner. It's very soon. And you know what? What two things go hand to hand with Christmas? This? And yes, I am referring to both of these as Macho Trains and Legos. These are one of the most iconic toy companies, or at least products, that I see a lot of people talk about for Christmas. You got the train around the tree, going around in circles. You got the bricks and the Lego sets so you can build your little old choo-choo, or I don't know, build like a car of some sort. But what makes them extremely better, when you take this and this to make I think I just saw God, or at least I'm looking at him. Yes, Lego and trains. Something that that is made for bread and butter. You only see this stuff on commercials, or at least in highly depicted scenarios that are completely fake, but the Lord of Savior has given us an opportunity of rebirth. This is something actually I've been pursuing for a while, because not only, well, you know, trains, but also I just love the fact that, oh, this thing's falling apart in my hands. I just love being able to build something that not only it works on its own separate system, like Lego track, put the train on the track, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's just what it's meant to be. But if you wanted to mix electric trains with this, it doesn't fit. It does not fit because it's too big. Like this gauge is just a lot bigger and wider than regular dough gauge. So this is why I absolutely love this. I don't want to spend like $500 or at least $100 on a new piece of rolling stock when I could just make it with Lego. Now this is a little bit more basic approach to it, but still it's very, very ingenious. With a lot of the more modern rolling stock that Lionel offers, with its couplers, they're just, use this for example, they're put on a center base of a screw. Now this is actually not Lionel, this is a MTH Rail King coupler or truck, but I'm just using it for example here. So what these are actually made for in these days, it's not like an old rivet or a plastic tab or a really weird connective system, but no, it's actually made of screws now. And what you can do is, there are certain pieces on like Lego's market where you can actually buy that has a hole in it, and it's used to usually keep like a little cylinder piece. I would love to have a great example for it, but for some reason I do not have one at the moment, or at least in grasp. But these are actually really, really cool, and they do fit into these holes. So what I started to do is, you take off the screw, disassemble the freight car, and then put the screw in between one of those bricks here. It's usually a 2x4 flat piece, and ta-da! You could be able to put Legos on old gauge rolling stock. Either it's just whatever the mind comes with. These are made for together. Now, of course, you can use, obviously, like Legos for different types of rolling, not for rolling stock, but cargo. Now, that's a cool idea. You can still do that. I have done that in the past. It's really interesting. You can make like really cool boats or automobiles. You can put them on like flat cars or depressed flatbeds. Or you can just have something like really big shipping containers for any well cars that you unfortunately don't have any containers for. That's what Lego is for. They are there to fill in the gap of what you don't have that you want to have. And there are a few examples of this. Now you can make rolling stock. I mean, this is obviously one example. I'll show more later. But there are more interesting ways of doing this. Like, a while ago, I did make some stuff. You probably noticed these things before. This is a steam engine that I actually contoured or heavily modified the chassis of a Thomas and Friends tank engine drive set, and I modified it so I could be able to put in connect these little bricks underneath it so to be able to hold the base. And so that's how I got a steam engine out of Lego. Now, of course, it doesn't have a motor in it, so it's just push along train at that point. But if you wanted to, I could easily like set up a lash up with it and just let another engine pull it or push it. Now, with that, There are a few times that sometimes I could clip the track and derail, or I don't know, something else happens, but it's not the end of the world. It's a little bad. I think my set kind of got a little falling apart, but really, it's just something I just love doing, and combining this stuff is really cool. And even with some of MTH rolling stock, I think, yeah, I believe this is MTH. Sometimes you can actually fit one of these cylinder pieces inside the holes of the original coupler. Original coupler mounting. There you go. You got a truck. Now, just put it in any of those holes that I talk about, and you're good. Now, soon after that, I started realizing, oh boy, I started to run out of them. So I came up with another genius idea, which is pretty interesting. Yes, one can use a power drill if they have the access or the connections to be able to use one of these. One can use a drill, use a specialized drill tip that is probably packaged every single pack of drill bits. One can use the drill to cut out one of these holes. It doesn't have to be a center one; it could be either one, and you just go ham on that damn thing. For example. And you could be able to get a hole in there. Obviously, it's not the perfect cut. You can still use the brick regularly. It's just because it has a hole in it doesn't mean it's been rendered useless. But it's still, oh no, but I guess it still has some lively to it. But all in all, you can use this to make more holes or make more of those 2x4s with the holes in it. And there you go. Now, because of a power drill, making bricks like these has literally made model railroading so much more interesting because of the amount of ideas you can do. Here's mainly the more modern, or at least most of the stuff that I had done in Lego. Now, fair disclaimer, it is very messy here because I just finished up another project. I will show that in a few seconds, but yeah. So what you could do is, with the original concept that I was going with earlier, take the screw, take one of these bricks with the holes in it, and you just poke it through. There you go. Now, if you get two of those, you get a little kinky with it, because then you can make your own rolling stock. This is, if I could get this dang screw back, get the truck back on. So this is supposed to be going. Now it looks like you'd be like, hey, what is that? What is that? Now this is supposed to go with a little crane that I actually made with it. It's supposed to have an imitation or have that same feel to Mark's crane. No, not Mark's cranes. Mark's smaller rolling stock. And yeah, that's definitely what this is trying to go for. Now, it is very bare bones. There's nothing really crazy going on here because I haven't really used it that much. And, you know, I will schedule this for demolition. I don't use it anymore. But it's something cool that I tried to do with it. And the power car isn't that bad, but the crane, I tried to get a working operating boom on it, and newsflash, it did not work. But yeah, that's the little thing that I had going for it. Then we get the caboose I was talking about earlier. This was originally it's originally had no windows on it, and it was mainly more of like a mixed color of anything I had. I wanted to try to make it look like a little bit better, so I took out a lot of the other colors, focused really hard trying to get just yellow on here. Obviously for the roof, I don't know how to do that. I really don't. And I just took the same truck assembly. Obviously it's not in the original position that it was earlier that I showed, but either way, it's still pretty nice looking. I think the addition with the windows just makes this a lot more lively, and it has more charm to it. So back onto that price tag again. And then it is possible, I have tried this before, it's a little finicky, but you can make your own truck set with strictly just Lego. And this is my attempt at it. Now, you can try this on your own. It is a little bit difficult. It needs to be, I think this was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's a 10x3 block setup here with these these style holes in these regular size bricks. Just the 1x2, 1x3. I believe there's a 1x6 as well, or like a 1x17, which has like a lot of holes on it. Now those, you can put wheels on these, but it has to be a 3 brick radius because the length of that, it matches up exactly with a gauge track. Now if you want to do that, it's a little bit complicated because you do need to shape the wheels out a little bit differently. Because even with that extra boost, it still doesn't quite reach the track length. And if you have like these little style of pins in them, it's just, if it's not like a whole straight bar, then you'll have to, it'll be a little bit more patience with trying to set up the right length that the wheels need to be. It is a bit challenging, but it's possible. But it is, you will have to have a heavy freight car for this because these trucks are hella light and it is just very finicky. Now originally I had a 6-wheel crane on this, I tried to have a mimic of the old Lionel post-war 6-axle cranes that they had in that time period. And the crane was on here originally, but I was like, I don't really use that much. And also this coupler design is just absolutely terrible. It's just a plastic knuckle with these longer cylinders on them that give you more room to move stuff. I tried that, it's just not good. It's really not. So I took the crane off and I made a what would be a dockside crane. Now this is pretty cool. I made some original modifications to the original crane design that I did. It looks a little bit better, but still could be a lot more appealing looking. But you know, that's just the thing. So yes, this does actually operate as a regular crane. You can use the hand cranks here to lower and raise the hook on here. Now you can't move the boom, but there's no way of actually moving it. This can't go all the way to the ground, or at least onto the base level of my layout, or at least very close to it. Now with that, you can be able to pick up a lot of shipping containers, little trucks, or whatever, and you can put them onto cars that are right below it. Now, it is not bad. It could be a little bit better, but you know, I think that's the best I'm gonna be able to get with it at this point. It's just really touchy. And I actually made a cool design structure here. I wanted to have like one of those arch designs that bridges, suspension bridge have, but it was just way too short to have the proper design to go for like a proper X. So I just added this stuff in the middle of it to make it look a little bit more appealing. That damn thing. There we go. And then it's the same thing on the other side. Now I did originally have a blueprint design. I was gonna use this train base. It's a very typical design that Lego was using to have basic sets. Instead of making their own chassis, that would be the chassis that they would use. But I took that exact same design, flattened it out, and extended it to 12 by, I believe this is 36, 12 by 36, I'm not 100% sure. And then with the way that the crane swings is that I put a little cylinder piece on it. I didn't realize till like a while ago that had like the hole in it. So I improved it with a radiator cover, which I believe was on some train sets that used it. Took that, popped right in, 360 degree of comfortable swivel movement without any sound or hesitation. It is glorious. Now, I forgot to get it, but it's another conversion car I made over there with a Marks coupler truck type, and then a regular Lionel truck type. Just to go with my E7, just so I would have a car to have a conversion with the E7 so I could be able to pull the Lionel stuff. But yeah, it's not just because of Lionel trucks. You can do other brands. MTH I shown earlier. Now with K-Line, it's a bit more interesting with the screw, with the flattened screw end shape. It is a bit more harder because the screw can swivel a little bit or unscrew itself while it's in operation, or tighten itself. It depends, but you will have to adjust it to have the right swivel length, and if it accidentally clips or derails the train because if it's too tight, then there you go, there's your answer. But it is possible with K-Line cars as well. It'll just have to be a little bit more finicky if you don't want to make your own full truck design. But yeah, I just wanted to have a quick little show and tell, saying, hey, you can make Lionel compatible with Lego or forcefully compatible with it. And yeah, I just wanted to make a quick little fun video because this is literally I'm running out of ideas. But the people who are watching this, there will be a live stream on the 25th. I don't know when, but you know, we'll figure that out in a bit. But yeah. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this holiday video. Like, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. Y'all know the drill by now. And stay tuned with the Christmas videos, and we'll see you next time for the holiday live stream. Take care.